the big infrastructure collapse debate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the dream of every Indian, including you and I, to make our nation a Viksit Bharat. But the visuals pouring in from different parts of the country in the last 24 hours make one question, are we really getting there anytime soon? Just 109 days after the inauguration, the canopy of the newly constructed shed of the Jabalpur airport in Madhya Pradesh collapsed after heavy rains. The driver and passenger must be thanking their stars because they were not inside the car when this incident occurred. But Ramesh, who used to drive a cab to earn a living in New Delhi, wasn't so lucky. He was crushed to death after the rooftop of Delhi Airport's Terminal 1 came crashing down due to a heavy downpour. 7 people are also injured, and this is just the first rainfall in Delhi, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's distressing reality that repeats itself year after year, year after year, to the extent that it's now a literally running joke on the internet that the monsoon season isn't complete without the obligatory photograph of the waterlogged Minto Bridge Road underpass. Yet, no concrete steps have been taken to address this, and I've seen these pictures year after year, government after government, from Madan Lal Khurana to Sheila Dikshit to now Arvind Kejriwal. This reality just doesn't change. So what are we doing about it? The Congress MP Shashi Tharoor posted how his usual route to the airport was absolutely waterlogged with knee-deep water. And with these visuals, let me also show you Congress Member of Parliament Manish Tiwari, who had to go to Parliament after water invaded his home in Lodi Estate. And this is really, South Delhi prime property that we are talking about. Lutyens Delhi was no better. Ram Gopal Yadav was actually being carried by his staff and taken to the car as he was moving to the parliament. Even the city of Ayodhya was submerged, and Akhilesh Yadav quickly blamed the BJP, indicting it of corruption that resulted in substandard infrastructure. But as usual, our netas are following the template they always have resorted to, which is blame game. Hamara kaam nahi, unka.
Watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And as I open this debate, my question goes to you, Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia, airport ho, Delhi ho, when it comes to powers in Delhi, there is a regular fight between the central government, the Aam Aadmi Party government. But when it comes to providing amenities and infrastructure to the people of Delhi, well, there's silence. Look at Jabalpur, look at the airport rooftop collapse at Delhi airport. Just what's going on? Are we the 5th largest economy in the world? And is this what we have to show for our infrastructure?
So, Navika, first of all, yes, we are proudly the 5th largest economy. The infrastructure has improved drastically under Narendra Modi ji. And I must also tell you, thousands of projects have been materialized and they are on ground, and people are reaping benefits of those infrastructure projects. But at the same time, I agree with you that if there is a deficiency of service, or if an incident like the Delhi airport or the Jabalpur airport comes to light, then we need to take responsibility. And this government is a sensitive government, and that is why in the morning itself we saw the Civil Aviation Minister, Mr. Ram Mohan Naidu, visit the site, and after that an inquiry has been ordered. We must await the results of the inquiry. But there is a fact that need to be told. The fact is, Priyanka Vadra Gandhi tweets and she says, Narendra Modi ji had inaugurated Terminal 1 just a few months back. She is lying. She is spreading propaganda. And why do I say that? This Terminal 1 building that has collapsed has been inaugurated in 2009 by Sheila Dikshit, and this is on record. So I must also ask the Congress party that without doing a fact check, when you need to stand in solidarity with the family that has lost its loved one, you are trying to do dirty politics, and this is unacceptable. And I will tell you that during the Congress regime, there were scams, there was corruption and loot, and all the infrastructure projects were substandard, and after investigation, the foul play of the Congress came out during our tenure. If there is a lapse, we have to look into it, but strict action is taken, and most of the projects that have been launched are successful and they're helping the citizenry of the country. That credit cannot be taken away. But we will look into these mishaps and things will be improved. Action will be taken against the contractors who will be found deficient.
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, will you tell his family tonight that 2009 mein Congress had inaugurated this? Who's supposed to do the maintenance? Who's supposed to have the checks on the maintenance?
Exactly.
Is that something that you will blame on the Congress party? Number one. And number two.
May I respond?
Yes. Let me ask the question. Number two, can anybody go and say this to the family of the deceased that sorry, हमारा काम नहीं था, वो पिछली सरकार का काम था? I'm just asking you.
No. Navika, I started by saying we have to take responsibility because we are in power. And to the family of the deceased, I would very humbly say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry because even if one life is lost, it's too much. We have to ensure that not a single human life is lost due to deficiency or due to bad work that has been done by the contractor. Having said that, I raise the issue that if the government is responsible, the opposition also needs to ensure that it acts responsibly and it doesn't spread fake news. It doesn't create panic. It doesn't, point fingers at others when they themselves should be taking responsibility for 2009 construction. That's the limited point I was trying to make now.
Dr. Sanjay Jha, please respond.
Navika, I think Gaurav needs to rise above some petty parochial politics here.
That could be said about Congress party people as well, who started.
Priyanka Vadra Gandhi should rise above petty politics.
No, let me finish my point. The question is,
if I say the same for Priyanka Vadra,
Gaurav,
you wouldn't like it.
Gaurav, can I
She
speak
is
without
indulging in cheap and petty politics, Mr. Sanjay Jha.
Can I speak without your interruption? You didn't even let me finish. You don't even know what I'm going to say. Stop being presumptuous, man. Here is my short point.
No, the initial remark itself was a bit too much. Because I'm on facts.
Look at the hubris of this man, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the arrogance of the BJP in the face of Gaurav Bhatia right now.
No, look at the hubris of Priyanka Vadra Gandhi. That she's not taking responsibility for 2009. She's not apologetic. She's indulging in petty politics.
You have not allowed me to speak, Gaurav
Photo
Bhatia.
op moments.
People are watching.
Will I not point it out? I had the courage to say, I will say sorry to the family. Does the Congress, Rahul Gandhi and Kharge ji have the same courage to say sorry to the family?
Please allow Sanjay Jha to complete his point.
Yeah. Navika, I dread if the BJP had got an absolute majority, these guys would have been unbearable, insufferably arrogant. I'm glad they have been reduced to 240, and I hope the next election they're down to 40.
There is still a downside more than you are. So a little bit of humility on your part would also be welcome, Sanjay Jha.
You will be booted out every time. You are not
there are a downside more numbers than your party, Sanjay Jha. So stop being preachy. Can you tell me when somebody's lost their life? When we are talking about the loss of a life, and the first comment that comes is actually about blaming a government and a political slugfest. Is this warranted? I'm asking you a short point. Are we human beings or are we only politicians?
Navika, I was interrupted several times, but in 30 seconds I'll wrap up. You ask an ordinary citizen of this country, and their trust in any government-sponsored infrastructure is very low, and it is a tragedy across political parties. That is the point I was making, number one. Point number two, go through the CAG report. The CAG report that came out early last year talked about massive scams under Mr. Modi's government, and these are the consequences of that. That report was not allowed to be discussed by the BJP.
I wish you had given as much credence to the CAG report on 2G, which at that time you said is a zero loss theory, which no mathematician could understand. Let me get in Komar Reddy ji. Komar Reddy ji, my question, my 1 minute. Can I get some answers for the family of the deceased? Can I have the opportunity to do that, Sanjay Jha? Please, just a minute. Komar Reddy ji, my question is, if a person loses his life, I don't care who's the minister, I don't care who's the government, I don't care who's the opposition. The fact of the matter is, are there systems to take care of the maintenance? Are there systems that take care of, whatever exists in terms of infrastructure that we proudly talk about 1 minute, but the next minute we disown it saying, not us, it was somebody else who did it. I want to ask you, who is answerable to that family? Who?
I don't want to get into any kind of political blame game here. As you have rightly said, there should be some accountability. And today, the Honorable Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, he was there immediately at the scene of the incident, personally overseeing all the actions of the emergency services. And he had also ordered an inquiry into the structural strength inspection at all the airports, not just Delhi, but at all the airports by the Airports Authority of India. And within the next 4 or 5 days, a report will be submitted. So the government had initiated action, and also the Honorable Minister was there personally at the hospital where a lot of people got injured and they're being treated. So as you have pointed out, I mean, this is not the time, to get into any kind of politics. Yes, the government is accountable, and as Gaurav Ji had also said, we take responsibility, and we have already initiated all kinds of actions to ensure that these kind of things doesn't happen in the future. If the Congress is so interested, in making these kind of allegations politically, they should also remind themselves of the Commonwealth bridge collapse. We can also, I can get into a debate on that too, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested right now, to make any kind of political blame game here. Let Priyanka ji not forget the Commonwealth bridge collapse where almost 30 people got seriously injured. So that is not the way forward right now. So yes, we will act responsibly, and the government had already initiated several actions. A team from IIT Delhi is already roped in by the Honorable Civil Aviation Minister. They are also inspecting the terminal at the Delhi airport. So this is how we are going forward.
Well, let me ask Vivek Silas. Vivek Silas, Ramesh, and I'm correcting myself, Ramesh is the victim and the deceased. My apologies, not Ashish, I said that earlier. Ramesh has lost his life. 45-year-old Ramesh. I want to ask you, any apology, can it fulfill? And why do we see this year after year? Whether it is waterlogging, tall claims are made. Atishi, the minister of the Aam Aadmi Party government, Arvind Kejriwal will point fingers. Arey bhai, this is the job of the center. Drains have been cleaned by us. Drains have been cleaned. Every year we see these pictures. Commuters have been stranded for hours on end on the streets of Delhi, on the roads of Delhi. Just what's going on? Airport rooftops are falling, water is logged, cars are stuck. Are we calling ourselves a country that is moving towards Viksit Bharat?
First of all, Navika ji, my very heartfelt condolences to the family of Mr. Ramesh. It's really unfortunate and sad, But then someone has to take the responsibility. That is also a big question. And the responsibility will definitely be not on the opposition. The responsibility has to be taken by the government who's in power at the moment. It's not about Delhi airport. You just mentioned about what happened in Jabalpur about 3 months back. We have seen recently what happened in Atal Setu. We want to remind the viewers, in the first rains in Ayodhya, the airport boundary wall fell in Ayodhya. That was, very recently constructed. We have seen a lot of things. Moreover, I would like to remind the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party that Nand Kishore Gujjar and Shyam Prakash are two MLAs from the Bharatiya Janata Party at the moment in Uttar Pradesh. And they have alleged that the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh is a epidermis of corruption. We have seen cremation roofs falling, and 25 people were dead just below that. It was the government of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Nand Kishore Gujjar said that the Bharatiya Janata Party takes 50% commission. That is what the Bharatiya Janata Party...
My friend, bridges have collapsed even in West Bengal, but those won't be visible to you because
what Mr. Modi said. It's not an act of God, it's an act of corruption.
Mamata Banerjee also spoke about some of her own party men being involved and ministers being involved.
But this is also an act of corruption.
My only point of view on this, viewers, is they can only find fault with the other side. The government will find fault with the opposition. The opposition parties will never criticize each other. They will always find fault with the government on any issue. And where do the people of India really stand? High and dry for the next 5 years. Why? Because elections are over. We are back to political business, which is scoring points. People of India, well, nobody really cares about them because, as I said, elections are over. Forget about your expectations. Bring them up only in 2029 because that's when you will get a chance to put your finger on the button in the EVM. Before that, it's just tears, more tears for the people, for the citizens of India. That is the stark reality of today. Thank you very much to my panelists and thank you, viewers, for joining me. But think about it. What should we do? Good night.